four, three, two, one, go!
Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. And you have the super team of sports talk here with y'all. I'm one half of it. They call me Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian. And I'm here, as I am 2 times a week, with my man, my partner in crime. They call him the 6 foot and under post-up tramp. 6 foot and under post-up champ, straight out of Hickory, North Carolina. Tell these people who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A and AA Sports. We're broadcasting live on a Tuesday. We weren't in here last week because the holiday, but we're back.
Well, we got in here Tuesday. We just didn't get in here Thursday for the pick show.
Yeah, we had turkey and shit to eat, so it's all good. We're back. What's good, man?
I can't call it. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was cool. Can't complain.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just that salmonella scare me. I still got a fried turkey. Was about that.
Salmon who?
Right.
Yeah, man. I just enjoyed for the most part not having to wake up by an alarm clock.
But you know what? We old now, so you're gonna get up 7, 8 o'clock. Ain't no 10, 11 o'clock sleep no more.
Cause it never fails. 7:15, my ass is up, no matter whether I have to do something or not. I'm just up.
It's just the way it goes. That's all good. We here.
All right. That's what's up, people. And we appreciate y'all tuning in to us and being here with us as well, as y'all always do. Those of you guys that tune in and watch us on the YouTube app, continue to do so. Watch, like, hit that subscribe and share buttons. Leave us some thumbs up or down, and then leave some feedback and some comments in the comment section as well. Same thing goes for you guys that listen to us on the go on either podcast platform, whether it be Spreaker on that app or in the iTunes via Apple. We again appreciate you guys tuning in to us. We love giving y'all this content. This is just what we like to do. So if y'all like to listen to us do what we like to do, then I think it's a love situation.
Absolutely.
All right. So a little bit later on, of course, we're going to get into the NFL Week 12 recap. Again, we had some Thanksgiving games. Then we had some Sunday games. We're going to recap those, of course. We got our overreaction real talk section that we're going to do a little bit later. I got a new segment a little bit later on, and your boy, I got some sounding off to do. I'm angry tonight about several things. We're going to get into that later on, but we're going to jump right on into it and start it off how we always do, open bar. This is a segment we like to call Something Like the News. This is where we give y'all a little. This is Diego and Uncle Hate's entertainment report. Again, everyday life stories, just crazy shit that we see on the net or on the news. Doesn't necessarily have to do with sports.
Absolutely.
Hate, I know you did your homework. Kick us off. What you got this week for us?
All right, I got a few stories this week. Not a long list like last week, but this one here caught my eye. You remember the finesse guy from a couple of months ago? We were talking about old boy who was had meeting chicks on the dating sites, having to meet them at the restaurants, but he's already there ordering food. And then
another Dash and Diner. Yeah, I remember that cat.
Yeah, he finally got caught up with. The folks caught him. So I'm going to tell you what they did to him. He's 45 years old, Paul Guadalupe Gonzalez.
What? 45? I'm thinking it's like 40. A 20-year-old cat. All right.
Nah, B. All right. 3 misdemeanor charges of defrauding and non-payment of restaurants. He was ordered to pay restitution to these restaurants, stayed 100 yards away from 5 restaurants. He's also barred from using dating sites, and he's up for search and seizure pretty much when they want to. All because he was running up on chicks. First of all, we talked about this before. If you're on a date and you get there and the dude's already ordered and eaten, something's wrong.
Something is wrong. At the very least, he's inconsiderate as fuck, and you should probably make a U-turn.
Exactly. So, they said they're gonna shut this man down. He can't go on Bumble or sites like that, but it's all good. He gonna find a way. They ain't gonna keep this cat from finessing these chicks.
Man, Man, that's funny. I'm like, what? That's illegal, though. I mean,
Right.
you can catch a charge for that.
Who knew? All
Hey
right,
man,
another crime and punishment.
shout out the Ray. Shout out the Ray's Pizza.
Exactly. Exactly. Story from my youth, people. All right. Another story that was quite interesting. Did you hear about the FedEx driver who got ran up on in where is this? Denver? I want to say it's Denver. Oregon. I'm sorry. A racist ran up on him, cursing him out, talking any kind of way, called him some slurs. Well, old boy got out the car, and the older racist gentleman swung on him, and the brother Timothy Warren gave him that one hit a quitter and killed him.
Oh, I think I did see this. Yeah,
and he didn't get no charge though. They said that Oregon law, you can stand and protect yourself, and the guy did swing on him first. Hey, I understand. Y'all feeling the type of way right now. You got your chest is puffed out and everything. You can't be running up on everybody.
Because one thing a lot of these racist people don't understand is this is not the 60s. A lot of y'all are not as tough as some of them or about it as some of them white cats was back in the day. Right. And you could best believe that we are not as passive as some of us were back then. We finna throw some hands with you, and it's gonna be a bad outcome most of the time. And it is another thing other than probably athletes, personal trainers, cops. FedEx dudes is like up there in the top 10 of regular motherfuckers that's in shape. You don't see too many out of shape FedEx dudes, FedEx and UPS dudes, because they be slanging in boxes and in and out that truck all the time. Now the cats that drive the little vans where they just kind of do some pickups and some drop offs, DHL, them kind of cats, where they drive the truck where you ain't gotta have no CDL, they might be out of shape. You know what I'm saying? They ain't in there doing it grinding hard like them cats in the big trucks. Yeah, man, you don't run up on no FedEx and no UPS worker. Any kind of manual labor worker, you might get your ass handed to you on any given day.
Bro, he was in his truck. So how you gonna walk up to this man's truck, screaming at him, talking shit, and throw a slur at him, the N-word, and then when he get out the truck to step two, you gonna swing on him? Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't wish nobody did,
Yeah, that's probably fluky as hell. We do fall and hit his head, and
yeah, they say he was in bad condition health wise anyway.
Okay.
So maybe he was feeling extra brave.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Y'all chill out and we'll stay chill.
There you go. All right, this one here. We talked about money last week and things happening. Did you please tell me you heard this story about the cat who bought the storage for $500 at the auction? That was on my list. Go ahead. Okay. He bought the storage at an auction for $500.
Right.
It's a safe in the storage with $7.5 million in there. 7.5. Okay, here's my issue. From what
you probably got the same one I got. You probably got the same issue.
I'm reading with this, a friend of the family told the cat who ran the auction what happened about them finding the money in the safe. That don't make sense to me. He was approached by a woman who told him a family friend had recently purchased a storage unit that was auctioned off and there was money in there. That's that bullshit.
Okay. No, wait a minute. The person that runs the storage?
The person who had the auction was approached by this lady who was a friend of the guy who bought the storage. Okay. So that's how the story all got jump started from there, because the person who actually had the storage initially, they found out it was sold. They contacted their attorney to get a settlement. So it was already in the works. But why are you telling these people that I came up on $7.5 million? Why'd they tell somebody outside of who had to know to begin?
Right, because my question was, because I was wondering, I'm like, how did the guy that wants his money back or part of his money back, how did he even know who bought the unit? Because I thought that something like that would be confidential.
I would think so too.
Okay.
So when she told the guy who ran the auction, he contacted the person who had already filed the claim. I don't know about you. I know a few people who have storages. I know a few. I don't think nobody got a safe with $7.5 million sitting in it. That can't be legal bread, dog. That can't be.
Oh no, absolutely not. Which leads me to my next issue, or my biggest issue with this is, if you know that you have $7.5 million in a safe in a storage unit and you ain't paid the damn storage bill, I think we've all seen at least a commercial of Storage Wars, right? They will sell your shit off. What did you think was gonna happen?
I mean, you rolling like that you ain't even tripping on 7.5.
The 7.5, you know what? It was probably the rainy day. If I got to make a quick dash, you know what I'm saying?
Getting that money.
I know it sounds like the movie type shit, but let's say I had to be gone like right now. I know I can go to the storage unit. I got 7.5 out the country. If I can get out, boom, you'll never hear from me again. So I was going to ask you, what would you have done? Because I think they settled on like 1.5 for the guy that bought it, right?
We talking half at least. First of all, I'd be pissed off that it came up, but okay. It was he paid $500 for it. It was 7.5. They negotiated down to a $1.2 million reward. How can we negotiate when I got the money?
Well, see, that's my next thing. Because if we assuming there's some criminal activity going on, right?
Gotta be.
Depending on who is asking for that money, how they asking for it, what they threatening to do to you if you don't give them their money back.
There you go. Yeah, that's true.
You might be, you know what? I'd rather walk away with 1.5 in my fingers.
That's true.
than have.
I ain't think about that part of it.
It could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's probably far fetched, but who knows?
No, I mean, yeah.
Those are the only options. Like you said, half. I would be shooting for half.
Yeah. If it's 7.5, man, just round me. Just give me 3. 1.5, you should give me 2.
You catch me on the wrong day, I'm gonna be like, I ain't give you shit.
I wouldn't have said shit. I'm just gonna pay my bills on the low going forward, cash. But yeah, man, shout out to him. These people be taking these sucker deals. I need this stuff to happen to me. I got $500 to go buy storage, but I want to make sure it's $1 million in there for me.
Or something I can sell, something.
All right, my last story. This is some more fast food fuckery. All right, in Minnesota, in a McDonald's, it was a group of teenagers, black teenagers, and they were trying to use Apple Pay to pay in line. They had never done it before, so it wasn't working out. So it was an older white gentleman behind them, and he said, "You're probably using the EBT card." And they were like, "No, we don't have an EBT card." So next thing you know, it jumps off. The gentleman pulls a gun on the kids in the middle of McDonald's. This is all on video. The manager, this young lady, comes out behind the counter, tells the kids to get out the restaurant. Tells them, y'all got to go get the blank out my restaurant. Y'all blah, blah, blah. So a white gentleman who saw the whole thing, like, how you going to send them outside when they got a gun pulled on them? You need to be calling the police. They ain't do shit. Police
is crazy. Right. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The police come. The guy's still out there, and they arrest him. Older gentleman, of course. Man, these old cats got that battery in their back, man. Between the carry and conceal and all this rhetoric that's out there in the street now, man, they tough talking for real. Pulling guns left and right on kids.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Where was this at?
Minnesota. It seems like a lot of this foolishness happens up towards the middle part of America.
These random ass places, which are random to us. Yeah, you don't hear about this kind of shit. Not to say that it wouldn't happen or couldn't happen, because we've seen some of this crazy shit in some suburbs of like Dallas, here in Atlanta, and out in the suburb areas. But whatever. What
was that last line you put on that the FedEx story? What, y'all chill, so we'll stay chill.
There you go.
We need to adopt this. I mean, this shit's getting out of hand, man. For real. That's all I got, B. What you got?
Well, I had this one story. I had actually heard this on the radio this morning, going to work, and I was just pulling the story as we was getting prep pregame, and the story is actually from 2017. So I don't know why the hell the radio station was talking about it like it just happened, but I'm gonna roll with it. It was some story out in Detroit last year. Basically, you had one police precinct, the 11th district, running an undercover operation to try to catch some drug busts or whatever. You had cops from the 12th district receive a tip about the drug house that is an undercover place, and so they roll up to bust what they think of the drug dealers, but are really undercover cops.
Right.
They roll up with they SWAT and guns out and everything. Shit pops off.
Oh, wow.
Long story short, now you got two precincts of police officers and SWAT teams out in front of this dope house fighting, pulling guns on each other. Billy Cubs, I think one or two cats went to the hospital. Crazy. 7 Mile, 8 Mile, one of the two. Yes. So I saw that. That was kind of crazy.
And ain't nobody think to say, we cops. Chill. We cops.
Hey, but the cops rolling up, they probably like, yeah, these fuckers say that all the time.
Right. Yeah.
So, but you would think if you running special ops, this ain't just no regular call off the radio. If you running special ops, you might want to be in contact with the districts around you to let them know.
Playing in their backyard. You know what I'm saying? I know something.
Dumbasses, man. But anyway, you touched on the 7.5 million storage story. That was cool. The only other thing I had actually wasn't even really a crazy story, but it was more of a shout out, more of a congratulations and accomplishment. But there's this as a kid, Kalen Bennett. Kalen Bennett, I think he lives in Cleveland. Yeah, out of Cleveland, 6'10", 300 pounds, basketball player.
Okay.
He is going to be the first player to go to Kent State, which is a Division I school basketball program, and he's autistic. He's going to be the first autistic student athlete to get a scholarship to a D1 program to play ball. So, shout out to Kalen Bennett. I can't imagine how hard it's probably been for him growing up and those challenges for him and his family and his parents. And shout out to Kent State for not dismissing him as a prospect just because of his quote unquote, and I use the air quotes very lightly, the disability, so to speak. So shout out to Kent State on that. Kalen, keep doing your thing. I definitely will be following up and watching you, see how you're doing on the court.
That's what's up. I had one more thing, kind of quick story, because with the holidays and people travel left and right. Did you hear that story that the Atlanta airport leads the nation in gun confiscation?
Gun confiscation, yeah.
That's ridiculous, ain't it?
We always do. Well, if you think about it, it's just pure volume probably because we're the busiest airport in the world. So naturally, if you've got more bodies coming through, you're going to find more pistols.
I mean, but damn, people, do you think people really forget to put that? Oh, I put my gun in the bag. I forgot. My bad.
I mean, to me, it just seems like something that I don't think I would forget. But I've talked to people. I've heard people, especially when it comes to like these entertainers and stuff.
Right.
They move and they on the go so much. Sometimes they may forget they have shit in the back. I don't know. Most of the time, I think it's just a cop out to try to get off. Honestly. Right. But depending on how you move, what your lifestyle like, hell, you may or may not forget. Hell, you might put it in there one day and then you might not use that bag again for who knows how long, and then you just scoop it up on the. I don't know, but it is what it is.
That's kind of like having $7.5 million in a safe in a storage. Just forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. So ultimately, you an adult. It's your responsibility. Whatever your story is, hey, only thing the cops gonna say is tell it to the judge.
Exactly. Better be glad we in Atlanta and not New York. All right, big dog, you ready to go to work?
Yep, because Jules getting you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. Yeah, but yeah, let's.
That's so funny. I'm glad you brought that up. So everybody's excited, like, oh, he asked her to marry him. That's what everybody thinks before they go to jail.
That's like it's either everybody excited or a bunch of people hating. From what I can see on social media. But I will say,
what was he supposed to do? Not marry before he go to jail? I mean.
Yeah. Well, come to find out, and people, if y'all know what we're talking about Jules and Kim Bella. But they say that he did it because whatever conditions of his house arrest or if he gets paroled or whatever, since they are not married, his official address is like his mother's address. So he been living with his mom this whole time.
Right. Ain't that funny?
So I don't know, but I saw somebody tweet something very insightful. It said we got a lot of Kim Bellas laughing at Kim Bella, and I'm gonna leave that at that.
Right. All right,
Shots
let's
fired.
get to it. Oh, absolutely.
All right, people. We're gonna get into these Week 12 scores. Again, it's getting down to playoff time, down to crunch time. So some of these teams you will start to notice, unless it's one of our teams, we ain't gonna be talking much about them.
Nope.
So get ready for exactly. So let's get right on into it. We're gonna jump right on off with the Thanksgiving Day games. The first game popped off. The Bears going into Detroit, and I was kind of scared because I picked the Bears, but I didn't know that Trubisky wasn't going to play. So I was like, damn, they might be in trouble. But no, the Lions let Chase Daniel. He didn't light it up, but he did enough to win the game.
Can I get myself an old school chump for taking Matthew Stafford in this game at home?
Hey,
this shit is ridiculous.
The Lions and the Chargers, they are like the same to me for the most part. You can actually stick the Lions in that new section that we're gonna preview later on in the show.
I started to put them on the new segment for real, but I was like, nah, because they just some suckers, man. They just been doing this so long.
Yeah, the Lions are Jeff Fisher. I think one of us said that early in the year. Yeah. That's all they ever going to be. But the Bears won that game 23-6.
Shout out to the Bears, man.
Bears moving.
I ain't see that coming.
Bears moving to 8-3. When I probably think most people, myself included, if I'm not mistaken, or it was either them or the Lions I had bringing up the rear in the NFC North. Yeah. So there you have that. Next up, it was the Cowboys winning 31-23 over the Redskins. Again, another backup quarterback situation because Alex Smith had destroyed his leg the week before, so those Skins came in there with Colt McCoy. Story of this game, Zeke doing Zeke things, but Amari Cooper had a breakout game, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah, man. Have you seen or heard from Josh Norman?
Who's that?
Okay, I'm feeling you on that. Has he been shit since he got there? Like, for real?
I mean, at the very most, at his peak there, we can call him highly serviceable or solid. He is not.
Used to follow, didn't he?
I can't remember what scheme did y'all play because I think wasn't the same.
I'm sorry, he didn't follow.
Yeah.
He was zone.
I think he had kind of the same. People was nitpicking and trying to find something wrong with him, just like we did Sherman. Well, so after you couldn't really find anything, well, Sherman's a product of the system, because they play that too deep look. So when he moved on from y'all, it was talk about whether he was a system dude and if he was going to be that shutdown guy. And now, was he like their third corner?
He like their third corner, B. I mean, Amari running all over the damn field. Last I checked, Amari ain't that fast, man. He's not. I mean, he's okay, but he ain't that fast.
Amari's a great route runner, and he's quick. He's got quick feet. But burner speed, he's not that.
He was outrunning them cats. I mean, that was ridiculous. Colt McCoy didn't help him, with them picks he was throwing. But, I mean, they still ended up in a halfway decent score with this game. Dallas is rolling, man. We're going to talk about them a little bit later, but Dallas is rolling. I was wrong. I'll take that.
Dallas is, and we still got a few games to go, but Dallas is the main reason. I know we say it a lot, but sometimes we fall prey to it as well. Don't take the fool's gold or don't drink the Kool-Aid too early.
Yeah.
It looked like they was going to be bad again. And then all of a sudden they didn't turn the corner. And now the shit done totally changed up. One injury to Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Them getting Amari Cooper, deciding to give Dak the ball finally. Defense playing well. Now it's looking like a whole different outcome at the end for Dallas, maybe.
But if the Saints whoop their ass on Thursday,
then it's back to reality.
If the Saints beat them Thursday and Philly wins, they got the same record. So that changes stuff. Now, of course, Dallas has that one, the head-to-head, because they beat them already. But then they play again this year. So we gonna see.
And I think that I don't think the tiebreaker, at least the first tiebreaker, I don't think it's head-to-head. when it comes to the division. It may be, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like the third tiebreaker. I think the first one is like best division record, best conference record, and then head to head, if I'm not mistaken. But even with that, I'm trying to find it real quick. Who does Washington play next week? Because if they
Philly on Monday
okay,
night?
so Washington is okay. They play each other. Okay, so yeah, if Philly wins, they all three gonna have the same record. They all gonna be 6-6.
Ain't nobody counting on Colt McCoy though. It's like they there, but they not.
Right, but no, the reason I want to look at the schedule though, because if they have an easier schedule,
gotcha.
And Dallas, I think Dallas still got a couple hard matchups.
Yeah, they got a good little schedule on the way. I want to say I got that in here somewhere. I want to say I do.
Here we go. So yeah, the Redskins end with Philly, the Giants, the Jaguars, the Titans, and then Philly. It's some winnable games right there. I think possible.
Yeah, it's
maybe two. I think if they win 2 games, they can make it interesting. 2 or 3 games down the stretch, and
that'll definitely make it interesting. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. But the later Thanksgiving game.
Oh boy.
What is this? 9 in a row, 10 in a row at this point? I done lost track. But the Saints beat the Falcons 31-17. Y'all can talk shit about Dan Quinn, Sarkisian, Matt Ryan, but I saw Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, 2 Alabama boys, drop the ball and fumble the ball in some of the worst moments that I've seen in a minute.
You know, Julio's on my fantasy team, so I've watched him a good bit this year. He's had about 3 or 4 solid fumbles like that this year. I want to say he dropped one in the Giants game. Mm-hmm. That was a big one when they still won the game. He had a big one in that game, big one in this game. He's had a few of them. And it wasn't like he wasn't trying to make a play or nothing. That was just a pretty solid tackle from New Orleans. Yeah. Hey, man, they already had a pass rush. Their secondary starting to come together. That the play that the corner made, I can't remember his name. Which the corner who came back on Ridley didn't give up on that play?
Oh, Lattimore.
That was a huge play. Huge.
It really was. I just knew Ridley was about to walk in. If they score that touchdown, that makes that game a little more interesting. But I think that was probably more crucial than the Julio fumble.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just both of them happened at bad times. But yeah, Ridley was walking in. At the end of the day, Atlanta, y'all just need to go ahead and focus on next year. See what y'all got with these cats, and it's tough break.
Yeah, tough break. Y'all. Hey, man.
Just host a Super Bowl.
It's gonna be tough watching. Now the thing is, though, and I think we've said it a couple times. Nah, fuck that. They did. I know. Mathematically, they're not.
They're alive, yeah.
But they're like 3 games back with 5, 6 to play.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say, we're talking about the Falcons in the Super Bowl, right?
Falcons, yeah, in the Super Bowl.
Oh no, what were we talking about before that? I forgot just that quick.
I said they were done. I said host the Super Bowl. You can watch it, but it's a wrap.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It's pretty much done. I forgot what I was going to say about them in the Super Bowl. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The Saints. The Saints could possibly win the Super Bowl in their stadium.
Bruh, that's like winning 2 Super Bowls when it comes to this whole rivalry. At their house?
Not only at their house, but since the Saints are the NFC team, guess what locker room they'll be in?
Oh, shit.
Could you imagine the Saints and the Falcons locker room popping champagne? What would the Falcons be able to say to the Saints fans from here on out? What the 24 to was it 25 to 3?
28 to 3 was a joker. They could always use that joker, but that wasn't the big joker. This is the big joker.
Yeah.
I don't care what you put on the table. That big joker gonna ride. They can't say shit. Nothing.
Yeah. The only thing that would have made the situation worse is if the Saints and the Falcons would have met. It's not going to happen now, but if they would have met in the NFC Championship game, and the Falcons had home field advantage, and the Saints beat them to go to the Super Bowl, and then just stay here for the 2 weeks, practice at their facility, play the Super Bowl in their stadium, and then win.
These cats.
That's the only thing would be worse.
They're gonna be throwing beignets and beads, man, left and right when they win that shit.
Man.
Looking
Let
forward
me
to it.
let me move on. Let me move on. I don't want the Falcons fans too mad at me. Notice I said too mad.
Yeah, they quit after the first touchdown. Well, that's the game over.
Man, they quit. They quit every week, man. They quit
every week off top. So,
but moving on, we got the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen's first game back in 3 games, but they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-21.
Jacksonville Pussycats.
I mean, we're gonna talk a little bit about them later on, so it ain't too much more to say about that game. I didn't watch that game for the most part, but yeah, they trash.
Yeah. Trash.
Cleveland Browns 35-20 over the Bengals. I guess Hugh Jackson going over to the Bengals didn't help very much. Andy Dalton was lost in this game for the rest of the season, which is probably a relief for him.
Yeah.
You know, I know I keep saying Marvin Lewis ain't gonna get fired. That percentage is going up. Yeah. I'm still hold on to it. I believe it when I see it because there's been plenty of times we just knew he was gonna get fired, and they was like, "Yeah, we give him a 2-year extension."
Hey, you got a job for me? Holla at me. I'll be there.
Holla at your boy.
I got you, Andy. Just holla at me. We can get this offense turned around. Shit's a wrap. Should we give shout out to Baker Mayfield? You've been balling, but homie, the NFL is a business. Hugh Jackson did not quit on y'all. He was fired. I promise you, if you go ask Hugh Jackson right now, would he rather be the head coach of the Browns or have that homeboy title he got in Cincinnati? He'd probably choose Cleveland. So, the shit on this man when he's down, it seemed kind of personal, probably because he didn't start him off top. I mean, you balling right now. I can't take nothing away from you, but it's a business, dog. People on your team right now will probably be playing for somebody else next year. You're not going to talk to them? They ain't your folks no more?
Right. And I don't if he has a problem with the way, because Hugh Jackson kind of went on this little high horse tour after he got fired. Mm-hmm. And, he was out here talking this shit and, so, if you want to have a little sentiment for him for that, hey, I totally understand. I get it. But the whole notion of you're mad at him because he went to a rival team, please shut the fuck up.
I mean, come on.
Please. I mean, like, really? You have teams that will sign a cut player just for like a division team. Say the 49ers cut somebody, the Seahawks will pick them up right before the game just to try to get any kind of intel. That shit happens all the time.
All the time.
Ain't nobody quit on y'all. It's mighty funny, though, however, because, I didn't really care for Baker Mayfield and the draft process and everything. I was like, I don't really care for that cat.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started to follow him a little bit more, and I kind of started to warm up to him. Like, you know what? He all right.
Yeah.
This weekend reminded me why I initially did not like him.
Exactly.
The Browns. Let me explain something to y'all fans because the fans is on Twitter going ham too. You motherfuckers act like you have won 4 games and y'all done got the big britches.
They played an Atlanta defense that's trash. Then they just played the Cincinnati defense that's trash. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's hard to win in the NFL, but humble yourself, please.
Right. Yeah.
Humble yourself. So I hope somebody comes out and beats them 42-0 or some shit next, so they can realize who they are. Baker Mayfield, you're a rookie,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You out here talking the shit like a vet, a loudmouth vet. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot to learn about not only playing the quarterback position, but holding your demeanor and how you do press conferences and how you talk to the media as a quarterback. Because the way you got your chest puffed out right now, homeboy, when you don't win, they gonna come for you.
Absolutely,
they are gonna come for you. And the little golden boy routine, that shit will be out the window. Okay,
absolutely,
this shit will be out the window.
All right, last thing on this game. Have you seen Jarvis Landry lately?
It's contagious, man. He got a cold or something.
I don't get it. As much as they're throwing the ball, he's really not been involved unless he's getting the best corner. But
no, I don't know because I obviously haven't watched their last few games, other than maybe some of the Falcons game. No, I didn't watch that game either.
I think he had earlier, 2-3 balls in that game. I mean, I'm just surprised he's not getting the work with as much as they're throwing the ball around. I'm surprised.
Right. And that would be surprising because early in the year, he was I think his numbers were like at career highs as far as yards per catch. Because, in Miami, they was using with a lot of underneath stuff.
Yeah.
Screens and all that kind of shit. And then here at Cleveland, I know the first few games of the season, he was averaging like 15, 17 yards a catch. Yeah. So it was looking different for him. But I don't know why he's falling out of the mix now. Tyrod started some of those earlier games. Maybe him and Baker don't have the chemistry as of yet. I don't know. Maybe I got to watch him a little bit more.
That ball and see what happens. Blow up.
I'll definitely have my eye on that though.
Absolutely.
Let me see here. All right, next up, New England Patriots 27-13 over the Jets. Broncos back. Patriots roll. You got anything?
Nope.
All right, the Eagles, which looked like they were going to get blowed out by the Giants.
Yep.
The Giants just completely look like a different team in the second half. Eagles come back to win. Last second field goal, 25-22. That division is tightening up. Odell said they had to run the table. If they would have won this game, it would have got a little. It would have got a little interesting, but not now. I think that was
on the draft, B.
That was the final nail right there. My 49ers losing 27-9 to Tampa. Much of the same for us. I'm not putting it on injuries, but we got a lot of injuries. No quarterback. We're just bad. Even the players that are still there. You got Richard Sherman, a veteran, out there getting burnt. You got guys that's been there for 3-4 years, just missing tackles, still blowing assignments. We just don't look good right now, but that's okay. Shoot for that number 1 pick, and we still in that slot. Jameis looked all right this week. I mean, it was against us, but that's still a pretty clean game for him. So, we'll see how he.
That's important.
Very important. We'll see how he finishes the season because, again, people, we can throw him away quickly. However, again, keep in mind the quarterback class coming through the draft next year ain't shit.
No, it's not.
And there's not a lot of free agents out there. So don't write Jameis off in Tampa just yet. We'll see how that ends. Now, this game right here kind of pissed me off. I've been kind of talking a lot here. Oh, okay, you are already ready. Because y'all pulled some shit a couple weeks ago, and I told you I had some smoke for you, but y'all pulled it out. What the fuck was y'all doing this time? Y'all lose to Seattle 30-27. Seattle a good team, but y'all should have won this game, in my opinion. McCaffrey had like 600 yards. I'm going to shut up and let you go. What is wrong with your Carolina Panthers? This is 3 losses in a row. Now you're in a fight when you had considerable lead in the playoff standings. Talk to me, Hate.
After we got our ass whooped and we went to 6-3 in Pittsburgh, I was like, we straight. We all right. It's the worst thing possible. The defense carried us all them years. Now the defense ain't worth a shit. Now we putting up points offensively. Can't stop nobody. We got no pass rush. Julius Peppers look his age at this point now. Mario Addison, 38, 39, somewhere around there. Thomas Davis looks slow. I've been banging on it. It's the defense, man. Cam threw a bad pick, but that pick didn't kill us because we still turned around, put up more points. But, I want to say Cam was 25 for 30 in the game. 200-something yards, 3 touchdowns. The kicker is killing us every week, it seems like. The defense, man, we got New Orleans 2 more times this year. We got Atlanta, Tampa, and Cleveland left. I don't believe we beat New Orleans at this point unless they don't have nothing to play for. I don't believe we're going to beat them.
Is that the last game of the season?
The last game of the season is Tampa. We got New Orleans, Atlanta, New Orleans, then Tampa.
But they got New Orleans twice. That's gonna be y'all season right there.
Pretty much.
That's gonna determine.
Go there and beat them. Now Seattle has a pretty tough schedule as well, but man, we left 2 games on the table just this past week. If we'd have hit that field goal, we'd have went up. We should have won the Detroit game. I think we've only been blowed out 1 time this year. Every other game has been really close, like a field goal or less. Every game this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at the playoff standings now. Yeah, this wasn't a good week for y'all. Y'all dropped from 5th to 8th.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Yep. So we all right there. I mean, like I said, Seattle has a tough schedule. I mean, we got to win at Tampa this week. We have to win that game and
Yeah,
hope for some help. But
yeah, you
it's time.
definitely.
It's almost like I'm to the point. I'm ready to retool. Now, one thing that did hurt us this week with this Seattle shit, Dante Jackson got hurt early in the game. The other corner. They weren't targeting Bradbury. They were targeting Captain Munderland's old ass. And he just can't keep up with nobody. He just can't.
Right.
Broken coverages. I mean, it was tough shit, man. Cam's doing his part. He's over 60%. But at this point, if the defense ain't getting off the field, we're screwed, man.
Okay. And, when you mentioned Seattle's schedule, I'm starting to look now. And even though y'all in 8th, you have the same record as Seattle, same record as Washington.
Yeah.
So, and virtually almost Minnesota as well. Minnesota just is up a half game. The tie is actually helping them.
Right.
In this instance. Looking at Minnesota's, I'm looking at their next 2 games, both on the road.
New England Sunday, right?
At New England and then at Seattle.
Yeah.
No cakewalk there. We know about Washington's problems. They got Philly this week. I'm not sure who they have after that. So y'all definitely got to beat Tampa this week because the Seattle Seahawks play us.
They got y'all twice in the next couple weeks.
That's right, because we haven't played them. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. So you definitely need to win a game like Tampa.
Got to beat them and got to beat Cleveland after. Got to.
Yep, and then you need to at least split with the Saints and beat the Falcons. And then I think you'll get in.
So we'll see what happens with it. At this point, I want a pass rush. Christian McCaffrey was better than I thought he would be. I can't even front.
He is running through between the tackles pretty good.
Yeah, man, he got hawked down on that that breakaway. I thought he was gonna be gone, man. But he got hawked down. But it's all good.
All right, let's run through the rest of these real quick. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson getting his second win, 34-17 over the Raiders. I know the Ravens had a defensive score in this game, and I think a kick return as well. But Lamar Jackson still out there, doing his thing right now.
Man, we'll talk about him in a second. He's on the overreaction, but let's run through
right.
this few.
Cool. Next game, LA Chargers went down early 10-0 against the Cardinals. Won the game 45-10. Enough said.
Suffered another injury though. Another one. That's 3 weeks in a row.
Melvin Gordon with the MCL. He's week to week. They say so. Hey, don't listen to us. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. Don't believe me. Just watch.
That's it.
We try to lead y'all in the right direction. We were talking about the Chargers getting injury bugs in November, December since week 3.
I drank the Kool-Aid because I thought they were going to actually survive this year. That's my bad.
Hey, they still may make it because they have a nice lead in the AFC.
Oh, no, they're good playoff-wise, but I thought they were going to avoid the injury bug this year. No bueno.
Oh, okay, I got you. If they can't avoid it, and even if they go to the playoffs, that sounds like one and done to me, especially with their lack of I still think they play a soft schedule.
They ain't beat nobody, really. Who they beat?
You can go 13-3 all you want, but once you get to the playoffs and you ain't played a team that's won 55-60% of their games, then you're going to lack preparation.
Absolutely.
All right,
they got a pretty
on.
solid schedule coming up. We're going to find out.
Steelers ran into a trap game up in that altitude in Mile High. Maybe they just were smoking too much of that weed, eating them brownies, but they lost to the Broncos 24-17.
Yes, sir.
I think the Steelers will be all right. They'll bounce back.
Absolutely.
Broncos, a good win. This is the kind of win that Vance Joseph trying to keep his job. This is the kind he got to get.
Might be around for a while. I thought he was going to get canned, but that's 2 straight quality wins for him. So we're going to see. I mean, he still could get fired, but who knows?
And at 5-6, they right there in the playoff hunt.
In the playoff
the Colts, Andrew Luck, I don't think he got sacked again this week. That's got to be like 6 or 7 weeks in a row.
6 weeks in a row.
Multiple weeks of 3+ touchdown passes. He did throw a pick this game. He did throw a bad pick this game. But 27-24 over the Dolphins. And the Colts on the roll right now. Solidifying that offensive line has done wonders for that team.
Ain't it dope when you put draft picks into your offensive line and it actually works out? I mean, they went the Dallas route, and it worked for them. You had to protect them. Andrew Luck is really good when he's upright, people. Really good. Really, really good.
I don't care if it is a passing league. You have to build your team from the trenches, inside out, defensive line, offensive line. Figure out the rest of them. The Vikings 24-17 over the Packers. Stick a fork in them. They're done.
Yeah, they're done. I heard an analogy on TV today. It said that Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, they're that couple who decide to stay together through the holidays, even though they know they know it's done. They're like, let's just make it through Christmas, and we'll just separate first of the year. That shit's over.
Hey. And that's another thing I meant to bring up in the talking about the Cleveland Browns. Well, again, they fans is out here, with their chest puffed out. Don't be so brash, because you could end up with Mike McCarthy as your head coach if these rumors that we're hearing are true.
Absolutely. Yeah, they just need to slow down and be humble. Keep building. You're on your way. Be humble, Baker.
But the Packers, man, yeah, they're done, man.
I don't have much on that game. I watched pretty much all of it, but yeah, Aaron
doesn't
doesn't look good. That pass he missed with Devontae late, that would have changed the game. He doesn't look good. But again, offensive lineman hurt. He got all them young boys out there. Jimmy Graham has not done much of nothing for him since they signed him. I like the running back. He's coming together, but I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know. So
no, we know what they're gonna do. Fire Mike McCarthy. Next up, the Monday night game, last game, the Texans, another team that went down 10-0 early, but then beat the brakes off of Tennessee, 34-17. It took Lamar Jackson. It took Lamar Jackson. It took Lamar Miller at least 7 minutes to run that touchdown, the 97-yard touchdown.
They should be ashamed of themselves for letting that dude break on them. 95, 97 yards. Tough break, man. Tough break.
Yeah. All right, man. The Texans, that's what, 8-9 in a row. We're
about to talk about them in a second.
Good.
Let's run through this overreaction real quick. Overreaction to real talk before we get to this new segment, because it's going to be some fire. All right, overreaction to real talk. Jason Garrett will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys in 2019.
Real talk at this point.
Yeah, it's real talk. The Ravens have won 2 straight and will make the playoffs. Remaining games, at Atlanta, at Kansas City, Tampa, at the Chargers, at the Browns. That just seemed like just bullshit at this point.
I think that's overreaction.
Yeah.
Especially if they lose
get 2 of them.
Especially if they lose to Atlanta this week. Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it, because I think they're definitely going to lose to Kansas City, and they'll probably lose to the Chargers.
Yeah. Like I said, they'll get 2, but yeah, it's a wrap. All right, next up, John Connor will cost the Steelers down the stretch. He's only averaging 47 yards per game over the last 3. I felt like they needed a running game Sunday from what I saw. I was like, boy, they're probably missing Lev right now. John Connor don't have his hands.
I'm about to say it's a couple things in the past game where I'll be like, Lev would have caught that.
Lev would have caught that. That one he dropped in Jacksonville, Lev would have caught that ball.
Lev would have caught that. But John Connor will cost the Steelers down the stretch. I don't think it'll be him. They're going to do one or two things. They either going to feed Juju and AB and make it about Ben, or they're going to feed him and they're going to run it and pound it enough where his numbers will be all right. His thing is, I think he's got to hold on to the ball. He's got a little fumbling issue.
Yeah. I think 2 over the last 2 games.
Yeah, so that's going to be his thing. So as long as he holds on to the ball, he'll get whatever production they game plan for him to get. But I'm thinking mostly it's going to be about Ben trying to drive this boat and use AB and Juju, Vance McDonald for the most part, and let Connor feed off that.
I don't want to overreact to this, but they're not that much ahead of the Ravens right now.
They should have a game and a half lead on them, right?
Yeah, just a game and a half, and they got New England left. They got some solid games, but I think they're going to win the division. But it's closer than I thought it would be. All right, the Texans, they've won 8 straight games. Are they a legitimate Super Bowl contender?
When it comes to Super Bowl contender, I'm gonna say no.
Gotcha.
I mean, just off top, you looking at. I think the Steelers are probably more of a Super Bowl contender than they are, and they ain't even in the top 3 or 4. Just in the AFC, I think they're behind Kansas City, the Patriots, and the Steelers.
You think they might be behind the Chargers too?
No, I like them better. I just like them better than the Chargers.
I like their defense better than everybody. They got the best defense of all 4 of the playoff teams right now.
Well, yeah, because New England's defense is I don't know what
trash.
Kansas City's is getting better. They got a decent front seven. They got a decent front seven. Their problem is that secondary, and I think Eric Berry coming back will definitely help that. Pittsburgh's defense, they can get high as we've seen. So they can be solid. Yeah, they can be solid. New England's defense is weak.
Yeah,
I mean New England's defense is weak, but I don't think the Texans are a Super Bowl contender right now. I still think even though Lamar Miller had a good game last week, I think a solid run game has always been kind of their crutch.
Right.
Hopkins and Demaryius Thomas, Deshaun Watson, they can get it done in the pass game, but I think they need just a little bit more, maybe another year.
All right, Seattle will make the playoffs. They remain in schedule. We talked about it a little bit. They got y'all twice, the Vikings, Kansas City, and Arizona. That's a tough schedule.
Is it?
I mean, Kansas City and the Vikings, those are solid games. I mean, I guess some other 3 are the issue. So if they get the 2, well, if they get the 3, Arizona and y'all, that takes them up to 9 wins right there. They just got to really split one of them wins.
I'm gonna say they're going to make the playoffs. So I'm gonna say this is real talk. Reason why? 2 reasons. One, out of the 5 games left, they got us twice, the 49ers twice, and Arizona. That's 3 dubs right there.
Right.
The other 2 games, the solid tough games, Vikings and Kansas City, they got them both at home. So that definitely
Kansas City might not even be playing for nothing.
By that time. The other thing, the teams that they're bunched right there together with for playoff spots, right above them is Washington. We expect them to fall, and then the Carolina Panthers right behind them. Y'all have tougher games than Seattle, so that's why I say I think Seattle's gonna make it.
Yeah, Philly's right there in that mix too. It's gonna be interesting down the stretch. Philly got to win Monday night though. They got to win that game. All right, big dog, you ready for this new segment?
Yeah, people. Maybe we'll retitle it, but right now it's gonna be called "Done with This Shit." This is when you are tired of the bullshit, you are tired of the fuckery, you are tired of the shenanigans, whether it be with an individual, a team, it don't matter what it is. And I'm gonna get it started off. I started to just start the show off just as soon as I said high, how low, going to a rant.
Yeah,
but
that'd have been dope.
I said, hey man, just be
cool, ice cold.
There you go, be cool, ice cold, just be cool. However, I'm about to unleash on my man. Ruben Foster, bring your stupid ass to the front of the congregation, please. All right, so those of y'all that don't know, over the weekend, Saturday night, 9:10 p.m., Ruben, I forgot his damn middle name, Foster, injured linebacker for the 49ers, haven't played in the last several games, repeat offender of various issues, got arrested for domestic violence again at the team hotel Saturday night. Not only is so it's alleged he slapped the phone out of the young lady's hand, pushed her, and slapped her across the face. So I'm like, God damn it. However, I keep reading, and then I see that it's the same chick that's quote unquote lied on him, because I don't know about that anymore.
Right.
That lied on him back in January, February, when he almost really got in hot shit. But she came out and said she got into a fight. There was some other shit. She lied to try to fuck him up. Okay. The reason I'm going to sound off on Ruben Foster is, for one, how can you be that fucking stupid to put yourself in that type of situation again without walking the fuck away?
Hey, okay. Real quick. Did we not tell these cats a couple years ago?
All the time.
We did our rookie symposium. If you got a chick who's wild, who you fight with all the time, leave her ass at home. Break up with her.
Leave her ass at home.
Break up with her. It's not good for your brand. Anyway, Go ahead and finish.
It's not good. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So this chick lied on you, almost cost you your career, and you back fucking with her? How, Sway? How?
I don't get it.
That's why I say now I can't even believe that she really lied back in January.
Nah. I don't.
Now, you know, and I joked about it at the time. I was like, you know, John Lynch, 49ers, we cut that check under the table, you know, told her, hey, man, just go say this, you know, so we can get this under the rug. Whoop, whoop. All right. On top of that, I don't know if you saw this. There was an incident in October.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, this is after the season starts, after he got cleared the first time. Incident just in October. That's last month.
Yeah.
The police get called to their house for a domestic issue. The neighbors call the cops because they outside fighting. Now, the 49ers claim that they ain't know nothing about this incident. Word.
Bruh.
Word.
My question is, it's not even a question. You remember draft night? We was on our personal chat, and he just kept dropping. He kept dropping. The homie, one of our homeboys, Coach Hammer, shout out to him. He was wanting him to fall to the Falcons. Well, the Falcons bypassed him, and he got to y'all. He looked like a steal, man. He looked like a steal. Sometimes these issues just don't go away. It reeks of, what was the other catch y'all had just recently?
Alden Smith.
Alden Smith. It just reeks of it. And I hate to see that shit because these kids have an opportunity. They just piss it away. Well, man, I can't say he pissed it away because he got picked up today. So,
well, with that whole thing, I'm going to get to that in a second. But, okay, so I don't have no problem with us cutting his ass.
Oh,
no problem whatsoever with cutting his ass. Because go ahead and cut him now before it gets to the point, because he just in his second year. He missed a lot of last year because of suspensions and injuries. Same thing this year. Started off the season with suspension. He's been injured a lot. When he was playing, he wasn't playing like we needed him to play anyway. Okay? Go ahead and get rid of him now before it gets to the point where we get good, start trying to make a playoff run, and then we're actually depending on him, and then he does something else stupid. So that's why I have no problems with cutting his ass now.
nah,
The
that
other
was
problem, the other thing I don't have that I have an issue with, or I feel is not a problem, is the worst case scenario. The reason to cut him is because you're too fucking stupid for your own good.
Yeah.
And I'm just realizing now I've already said it, but to go back and fuck with the same chick.
Yeah.
That got you caught up the first time. And even if it was a different chick, you didn't have sense enough to remove yourself from a situation that was getting ready to occur. You're not fucking smart. At the team hotel, the night before a game, you're on the injured list. You ain't practicing, but you out here slapping chicks.
Show that shirt to the people, B. What is
this? Is why I wore it. Wild fucking animal. And the other reason I wore it, and we passed by that game so quick we didn't go into it. Let me see if it's on the list. I'll be quiet. Nope, it is on the list next. We're going to get to it in a second. Yeah, but to put a cap on this, because I'm finna get long with it and I'm getting upset again. Good riddance, Reuben Foster.
Yeah.
We basically wasted another first-round draft pick. I'll get to the other ones that we have wasted with bad picks at another time. I don't have time tonight. But so the Redskins, we'll get to that and I'm going to close this. The Redskins did pick him up off waivers. This is their statement.
I'm not surprised. They picked up Junior Gillette from the season.
The Redskins fully understand the severity of the recent allegations made against Reuben. If true, you can be sure these allegations are nothing our organization would ever condone. Let me be clear. Reuben will have to go through numerous steps, including the full legal process, an investigation, and potential discipline from the NFL, as well as meetings with counselors associated with the team before he will ever have the opportunity to wear burgundy and gold as a player, Senior Vice President of Player Personnel Doug Williams said in a statement. What that tells me is they're going to let the court case play out, let him get suspended,
Yep.
Let him. He got to do a whole lot of shit before he can step on the field.
Absolutely.
Good luck with that. Now they said they picked him up because he's got they have a lot of Alabama players that he played with.
Yeah.
And
Jonathan
maybe
Allen, there's a few of them. Yeah.
Some type of structure. Because that was the thing I was wondering how he don't have no friends or nobody on the team from the 49ers that would keep him out of them kind of situations. But he ain't really been there that long. And we don't have that Anquan Bolden, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman type vet.
Well, Adrian Peterson's there, but hell, he's still talking about beating his kids in public, so he ain't smart. So
Josh Norman.
He ain't smart.
So you know that's it, man. My hands are washed of Reuben Foster. I'm glad I didn't buy that damn jersey because it would have been a waste of money.
All right, let's run through the Jacksonville Jaguars. I kind of nominate them being known as the Jacksonville Pussycats at this point. We got to call them to the carpet as a staff, label, and as a crew.
Absolutely.
Dog, Jalen Ramsey doomed this season during the offseason.
Before it even started. We were talking about on the side the other day. Have they won a game since they beat New England? They 3-8, and I want to say they've lost 8 games in a row.
So they have not won since they beat New England.
Yeah, because they started off 3-0.
Yeah. Okay. So they have not won a game in a very long time.
No, I'm sorry. They the Jets was the last team they beat. They beat the Giants. They beat the Giants in New England, lost to Tennessee, beat the Jets, and then it's been all L's ever since.
L's. Jalen Ramsey, you cannot talk shit after the game, even more shit, when this dude cut y'all up. Josh Allen, it's not like it was strictly, he's running the ball. He's running. No, he actually put some yards in the air, too. They beat y'all ass. This hurts because this was one of our favorite teams, I believe, as a show. We like the swagger, the defense. We liked a lot about the Savages. We was ahead of the curve with this. But this many losses in a row, this many, and I ain't even tripping on the offense. That's a whole nother story. They were a couple of weeks late, but they went here and benched Blake Bortles. Y'all can take care of y'all end of it. It's not like they losing games 13-12. They're losing games by blowout measures, which means y'all ain't doing y'all job. Man.
Everybody not doing their job. The problem I have with what they've done this week. Okay, so did you see where the offensive coordinator Hackett?
Yeah, he got fired Monday. Yeah,
he said that he thought he was getting ready to go into a meeting to discuss a quarterback change, and he got fired. So then you not only fire him, but then you actually make a quarterback change. That lets me know that you're competent enough to realize that your problem is the fucking quarterback.
We know that's the problem, but what's the first thing coaches do when they know it's heat on their ass? They probably about to get fired. Fire the OC. Fire the DC. That's always the first step.
Why are you firing the OC? I can understand benching Blake Bortles' ass. Absolutely.
That's what they should have did.
You know what I'm saying?
OC and fire him. I mean, bench him.
Bench his ass. Bench his ass. And who is he throwing to?
Man. But this the same team that said, nah, we ain't got no interest in Dez. We ain't got no interest. Dez Bryant probably better than what they got right now with a torn Achilles. Right now.
They ain't had no interest in Dez. They ain't had no interest in Cap. They ain't had no interest.
Because they could have got Josh Gordon for a fifth. A fifth.
Josh Gordon. Tyrod Taylor. Teddy Bridgewater.
Probably got Ty God for a seventh easily.
Case Keenum.
Easily.
They weren't interested in none of them people.
Talk about then Tom Coughlin real quick.
I was just about to say, then to double down, I wish I had some poker chips sitting here next down to me. Because he pushed them all in. His old defiant senile ass today says, I'll be willing to put on gloves and battle anybody that wants to debate or wants to challenge the choices that we made in the offseason. I stand by every one of them. Really?
Oh, we got to bring this up because we didn't talk about it earlier. Leonard Fournette.
The other reason that I'm wearing the wild animal shirt.
Leonard Fournette ran his ass across the field.
He wasn't even on the field. Exactly.
Wasn't even on the field to get involved when Carlos Hyde's big ass got pushed by Shaq Lawson. Shaq Lawson, who rarely plays, who's been healthy somewhat this year. You had to go protect him with your helmet on? You're going to square up a fight with your helmet on. Explain to me, what damage are you doing with the helmets on? I don't get it.
Because he went into full boxing stance. I thought it was Teddy Atlas for a second.
Right. Squared up. Good
I'm like, maybe I missed something during let me see the replay. Maybe I missed something that made him think he needed to go at him like that. But no, he just pushed Carlos out.
That's it. Just pushed him. And you ran your ass across the field for that? Man, that shit's a dumpster fire. I don't know what they can do because they said Sunday morning they plan on keeping Marone, but I think they need to just burn it down. Would you trade Jalen? I mean, I know at this point we said we wouldn't.
No, hell no.
But is he going to?
I wouldn't have got rid of Fowler.
I like Fowler too, but they got to have somebody in there that's going to be like, look, who's their DC? That's a good question too.
I can't remember.
Gus Bradley?
It may be. No, Gus Bradley was the last head coach, right?
Nah.
I can't think of who it is. But I'd leave the defense alone. I'll leave the defense alone for the most part. You may need to make a couple tweaks here and there. Maybe
they don't seem inspired at all, though, dog. At all.
But right, and but when you don't have the defense, when you don't have sufficient offensive output, you can get uninspired on the other side of it.
I agree.
So to me, their main problem is the offense. You got Leonard Fournette, that's a foundation right there. You have to get some receivers. I don't know where you're gonna get them from.
And if they're waiting on Marquise Lee to save them, Marquise Lee ain't that good, people.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was a previous third or fourth receiver that you wanted to make into a one, and then he got hurt.
Only reason why he became the one is because the other cats left. That's the only reason why. He would have been the third off top.
You don't have a tight end, so you've got to get weapons and you've got to get a stable quarterback. So a Teddy Bridgewater, a Ty God, those are two names that probably should be available next year.
Yeah,
y'all have cap space.
They always win in March. You know that they win free agency every year.
You have to go get a quarterback. I've been on record saying guys like the Case Keenums, Tyrod, that's still mediocre, average quarterbacks to me. They have some good games.
When I say this shit,
they have some bad. Oh, what's you finna say?
Because you laughed at me on the side chat when I said this shit. I would have brought in Sam Bradford. You tell me right now, Sam Bradford ain't better than Bortles.
I mean, he probably is slightly.
This is what you do: you duct tape his knees. You stand him upright.
Put some Gorilla Glue on them shits.
You got to do everything to keep him upright.
The only problem with a quarterback like Bradford though is they need a quarterback with some movement. So that's why I'm leaning toward a Ty guy or somebody like that. Because they have no wide receiver weapons.
And I'm talking about right now. They can't get Ty guy to this summer. When they first cut Bradford, I'm like, man, I bring him in just to
try to save the season.
Something. But he ain't even got a whisper, so they must know his knees are shot. So,
hey man, they probably like, man, Sam Bradford done bled enough money out of enough teams. We are not going to be on the list of teams that eventually will put Sam Bradford on the Forbes list.
All right, let's keep it moving. I got an explanation for what happened Saturday. It just came to me today.
Okay, because I don't.
I got an explanation, and it's the right one too.
Before you get into this one. Lead into it. Tell us a story that you told the fellas about your trip to the grocery store last night.
All right, people. I was at Kroger last night, and I was at the self-checkout. Me and this tall gentleman, we were standing next to each other. And he was like, homie, you go first. I said, nah, man, you go. He said, you sure? I said, yeah, you had a tough weekend. He said, tough weekend? He realized he had a Michigan jersey on. He was like, oh, man, that shit's cold, B. It's cold. They got their ass kicked off.
Bro, the best and I got to use the air quotes, the best defense in the nation.
It's not their fault, dog. I figured it out.
62 spot.
Hey, what old boy do? The Instagram meme? I figured it out, dog.
Uh-oh. Well, okay. Let me and the people in on it.
They let Chris Webber and that losing Juju back on campus.
I had forgot all about because Chris Webber had his ass there, like 2 weeks ago?
Had his ass there. They walked him out on the field. He was, I'm home. You let that losing Juju back on your team. Now, that was a couple weeks ago. I hit you on Sunday. I was like, dog, they've only given up, in the last 5 games, they've given up 52 total points. They gave up 64 Saturday. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear none of that Jim Harbaugh. They some jive turkeys. They trying to hurt us. And I don't want to hear none of that shit. None of it. He needs to start taking calls.
You were ranked number 4 in the playoff standings.
Could have walked in, probably. Could have walked in. If he can't beat Ohio State, and this was the down year for them, the down year, when's he gonna beat them?
Well, we look at it as a down year, but they're 11-1.
That's what I'm saying. This was the down year, and they're 11-1.
Yeah.
When is he gonna be able to beat them? When?
Yeah, I think it is not just him. It goes back further than him.
Yeah. But
I didn't realize
in to beat them.
He was brought in to beat them. I think they've lost to them 14 out of the last 15 years. Something just crazy. I don't think he's gonna get fired.
No, he's not gonna get fired. No, I don't mean that. What I mean is if the NFL comes calling, I got you. I kind of would listen at this point.
I got you. I see what you're saying. But I heard somebody say it. I can't really attest to it. I love college football. I watch it, but I don't dig deep into it like I do NFL. Somebody said that the Ohio State is just better at recruiting athletes.
They recruit like an SEC school all day.
Right. So if you don't have athletes, you can ground and pound all you want against Penn State and Michigan State and Purdue and Iowa, which a lot of those teams are good because the Big Ten got a lot of solid. Big Ten has a lot of solid teams, but when you get to an Ohio State,
Northwestern is playing Ohio State for the Big Ten championship this weekend. That's a real conference.
Blowout.
Shout out to Georgia. They got number 4 tonight in the college football.
The Big Ten is similar. It's another conference. I want to say it's the ACC, but you have most of the best teams in that conference on one side of the division.
Yep.
And then on the other side is doo-doo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Kick, man. Tough break, man. Tough break. All right.
Do they get in the playoffs?
Nah. Nope.
It's going to take some chaos, right?
Whole lot of that. And if it becomes chaos, I need somebody to drop that mixtape like that boy Nick Saban did last year.
No.
Nick Saban dropped that mixtape the final game of college football, and they got in.
Yep. They got in. Hey, I think Ohio State, in order for them to get in, they've got to root for Alabama to beat UGA. Yeah. I think Notre Dame's done. They don't have any more games because they don't have a conference championship to play.
Yeah, they're in.
Clemson's and the other team, Clemson, they got
whoever. So
who are they playing? Probably Georgia Tech or somebody from the other side of that division for the ACC championship.
They're gonna roll them. So, all right. I had Cincy being Cincy on here, but I mean, we already know what it is. We ain't gotta talk about that. My last rant: kickers missing important kicks. I'm done with it, dog.
When will we stop? Tell the people why you mad.
Because they're missing. Their only job is to kick. That's it. That's your only fucking job at practice, to kick the ball through the big uprights. That's it. Why does it seem like this become an issue over the last 2 years when they moved the extra point back to the 35? It seemed like the kicking went to shit from there.
Right,
and that makes no sense. If I was a coach, I think I'd probably spend time in special teams practice just to be a jerk. Standing there watching them. Kick again. Kick again. Keep going. This shit is ridiculous.
Right. And at this point, 35, 40, anything up to 45 yards. I want to really stretch it to 50. Should be automatic.
With good weather, that should be automatic. Case in point. Now, he's a good kicker. Old boy Justin Tucker in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Baltimore should be 7-4. He missed an extra point. An extra point. I mean, that's one play, but that's your only job, B. That's your only job. You ain't got to tackle.
Right.
That's it.
I give Justin Tucker a little bit of slack though, because that was like the first one he missed ever in his career.
He's never missed one,
and it hit the upright.
That's his
But
job.
it still goes to the thing. It's only job. So unless you have a bad hole or a bad snap,
Minnesota, Green Bay, they tied with both of their kickers. Hell, Green Bay's lost 2 games behind Mason Crosby. 2.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yeah,
that tie they had kicks. I think one kick got blocked and the other team missed the kick.
Cleveland's lost 2 games off kicks this year, I believe. Man, that's that. Hey, y'all gotta get that shit together. Let's talk a little NBA.
Yeah, you're right, because it's not uncommon now to be watching scores and you see a team score a touchdown, and then 5 minutes later you realize they still got 6.
Right, they've been missing hella extra points. But like you said, anything under 50 should be automatic. So get your shit together, do some push-ups, get your minds right. All right, I put the current NFL draft order on here right now. Y'all are at 2-9 and at the top of it. This is a good chance for y'all to fleece somebody who's trying to move up to get that Reuben Foster pick back.
I'm gonna say it's not gonna matter if we had the first round pick that we take. Fuck us. Or if the front office don't know what to do with the pick.
I don't know. I kind of like John Lynch. He's done decent so far.
Okay. Well, we got Solomon Thomas that we use with that Bears when we traded with the Bears. We have him right now, and he's not even starting because he plays the same position that the other 2 first-round defensive line picks from the other 2 years, DeForest Buckner and Armstead, the Oregon boys, are playing. So they've got Solomon Thomas playing defensive end, and he really needs to be a defensive tackle. And then we have a coordinator who's garbage, and I'm not going to go into it today. But, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about a little bit of NBA to finish it off. We ain't got to talk about Pop. Somebody asked him a question about Kawhi. He said,
Kawhi, shit.
Why can't folks just take the high road? Just, he's gone. We wish him well. That's it. He ain't have to say shit. I mean, it's probably true because he don't. I don't think you can be well. I can't say that. Tim Duncan didn't talk much. He was a leader, so maybe you can show. You can lead by example.
I think Tim was vocal, like on the court and in different ways. He just wasn't really charismatic,
right?
In the media and to people, he was just kind of boring,
right?
But Kawhi's kind of a quiet cat, and when you a quiet kind of guy, it's harder to be a leader.
Yeah,
you need a good mix because just because you're the loudest person in the room, that don't make you a good leader either. John Wall. Right. But but it's definitely harder for a guy who's more reserved and quiet, to be a leader. And the end part of Pop's statement when he talked about maybe it just wasn't Kawhi's time to be that, maybe he'll evolve into that. I can agree with. It's just the way that you took a shot at him in the beginning of your statement. I think that was totally unnecessary.
I guarantee you, if Toronto called Pop right now and said, we'll give you Kawhi Leonard for Patty Mills and LaMarcus Aldridge, he'd make that trade 2 times a day and 3 times on Sunday. So shut the fuck up. All right, my last one. This is a funny one to get us out of here. All right, Washington is basically – I put 4-1, but that's wrong. They've went 3-1 since the whole story came out last week. We forgot to talk about it last Monday.
No, I think you're right. They won last night too.
But they won last night. I thought I had all the games on here.
Okay, no, you got it.
No, that is 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wrong on the number. They're 3-1 since that story came out. I was thinking about it. John Wall been balling since that story came out. Old Diego and Hate story. Remember we went to D.C.?
Right.
Remember we went to them parties up there and all that nice scenery around there? That boy don't want to leave D.C., dog. Do what you can to stay, cuz. You don't want to leave D.C. because wherever you go, it's going to be to a terrible team because who's going to take your contract? Unless you go to Orlando or Phoenix is a good city to go to, but it ain't D.C. It ain't Chocolate City. Dog, get it together. Y'all don't want to leave D.C. Figure it out.
Nah. And I think they do. And And I was watching the game last night because I'm gearing up. They about 20, 25 games in, so I'm picking up my basketball a little bit now.
Yeah.
So I was watching the game last night, and I thought about something. I said, you know what? They always talk about basically Wall is the monkey wrench in the locker room and the chemistry and everything, but on the court, I never really see that. I'm saying I never really see that on the court. When they doing bad, everybody. No, I'm saying when they doing bad, everybody's kind of slumped and they got kind of the same attitude. But when they playing good, they dapping each other up. They happy. I see chemistry there. So
I see chemistry, and one thing too. This may come off as a shot, but it's really not. It's like you put John Wall here and you got Russell Westbrook here. John Wall's assists are meaningful. Russell Westbrook's assists are to get a triple-double. They don't seem meaningful. They all come pretty early. John Wall's getting everybody involved. He's going to feed you. It's not like I don't believe he's a selfish ball player. I really don't. I think he wants to pass the ball.
John Wall is a pure point. Right. Russell is more of a two-guard scorer, playing point.
So why would people not want to play with a guy who they know wants to pass the ball? 10 assists is a given with him. Right. It's a given.
Because it was he hit a couple jumpers in overtime and toward the end of regulation and overtime last night. And I'm like, if you get John Wall to hit jumpers, that's a plus.
You're gonna win in most cases when he's hitting jumpers.
I'm saying in most cases like that, whereas Russell Westbrook's hitting jumpers, you expect that.
Right.
So it is different. Again, I go back. To me, the problem is Scott Brooks.
Yeah, he needs to go. We talked about it, and we're old school people in a lot of respects. You need a coach who ain't gonna take no shit in some cases. These young cats, they need a coach. They can't walk all over. He told the coach to shut the fuck up. I mean, didn't get suspended, just got a fine. You can't. How are people gonna respect the coach when the star player told you shut the fuck up and then get suspended?
And what's a fine? A fine probably $5,000, $10,000, maybe.
What does that mean to him?
Right. When he just signed a Supermax deal, he's going to make $40 million a year.
Supermax ain't even kicked in.
Next year. Right. That's what I'm saying. Starting next year, he's going to be making $40 million a year. What's $5,000-$10,000 for him? If I can tell the coach.
That's kind of like an old school story at this point. We about the last story to get up out of here. Remember when they had that whole dress code thing starting in the NBA, and Derek Coleman was wearing his Timberlands and shit. He just gave the team a blank check. He said, "I'm just gonna wear what the hell I want to wear." That's John Wall. He probably gave y'all a blank check because he'll probably end up telling them to shut the fuck up again. But nevertheless, they're only like 3 games out of like 5th seed in the East. It's early, people. Relax. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers. I like that press conference. I thought he was full of shit with it, but I like that press conference.
When he ran down the list of the teams they got to beat.
I was like, oh my God, this is impressive to be this full of shit. But believe it, that's impressive.
That's him. You know what? He did the same thing when he had the whole relax speech, and we was looking at him like
they were good then. They were better than they are now. So we'll see.
We'll definitely see. All right, people, we finna get up out of here. We went long tonight, but we had to make sure we got y'all some good info tonight.
Good show.
Make sure we talk to y'all. Again, since we definitely we missed the show last week, so we was ready to get back on here and get in the air, and then we had a lot of things to cover. So we appreciate y'all sticking with us, tuning in. Even if you had to split the episode up, watch 30 minutes now, then watch 30 minutes on the toilet.
The shit is funny, people. Y'all really need to check for us.
The toilet time is really the best time to listen because you ain't doing shit. Well, absolutely. Maybe, but whatever. Yeah. Hey, tell these people where to reach you at on social media, man. We finna get up out of here.
At Rike6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
Right, you can holler at me. I'm at on Twitter as well at Diego Barish. Don't forget to follow the AA Sportscast Facebook, Twitter, IG. I'm missing one. Facebook, Twitter. No, that's it. Facebook, Twitter, and IG pages. And subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on iTunes platform. Follow us on the Spreaker platform. Leave comments on all of them. I don't care if you don't do nothing but watch 5 minutes. Just go in there and watch a little bit.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're watching 10 minutes. So you're listening to 20 minutes. Just on the
ground floor because this shit gonna blow. We're good.
There you go. All right. So we appreciate y'all. Thursday, we'll be back to give y'all week 13 picks. We'll let y'all know who won this week's head-to-head matchup. We'll do our Power 5. And we will give y'all give an update on the AA Sportscast Fantasy League. I think the playoffs are rolling around on that, so we'll give a little update on that. We'll start getting the trophy and all that ready for y'all. All right. So for Uncle Hate, for your boy Diego Barishnikov, we up out of here, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports. No chaser. We'll holler at y'all on Thursday. Y'all be easy, be safe, be good. Peace.
Peace.